Hello everyone and welcome in 2025. Yeah, it's still weird for my brain to say that. 2025. Imagine, some people imagine that 2015 is already 10 years ago. Dude, in my head it was like yesterday. Anyway, yeah, you see this logo correctly and already probably has already seen the news, but I don't care. I wanna give my stuff to it too, right? This is it. The first look trailer of Nintendo's next, in quotations, console that's coming out most likely at even the start, around spring, as I've heard, in 2025, this year. Nintendo's Switch 2. And already one thing I've read online in one of the comment sections, one of the many videos I saw about this video. Um, there was a guy where I was already, yeah, he's kind of right. And this person said Nintendo already missed the opportunity to call it the Super Nintendo Switch. Like, come on, a good old homage to the old consoles, right? The NES and the SNES, especially the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This could have been the Super Nintendo Switch, which is already like a miles or no, a light year better name than Switch 2, to be honest. But yeah, Switch 2 is fine. It at least does tell you, hey, this is like a second generation, even though technically it's the third because the OLED exists. But you know what I mean. It's a major overhaul. The console is fundamentally a little bit different, and enough yapping from me for now. We're gonna watch some parts of this video. I might stop it or I might talk about it after the trailer. Actually, everyone has seen the trailer in full. I might just stop it at some points and say some of my thoughts to some specific parts about this new console and the new launch title it's coming with. So yeah, let's jump straight in, shall we? There it is, the Goro Switch from 2017. Can you imagine that this console is already 8 years old? There we go, bigger, thinner, new slots, second USB-C jack, and a new kickstand. Well, I'm used to this kickstand because of the OLED model, right? Though mine's not hollow. Um, Actually, before we go on to the Joy-Cons, the second USB-C jack on the top, right? I hope, I hope that there is a way that you can directly connect that. It doesn't matter if it's the top or the bottom one, but the top one suggests stuff like that to make it easier. It would be nice. To get to my point, it would be would be nice if you can connect it to a display, right? That also has like a, I don't know, USB-C input, or maybe you have a USB-C to HDMI cable, stuff like that exists, I think. Um, it would be nice if you can directly, without a dock, connect your Switch to a display. That would be so cool because I had quite a few times where I had my Switch with me when I was out with friends, and we then went to one of our places that wasn't mine, right? And I'm the only one in my friend circle to have a Switch or to have a console in general, which is pretty sad. Actually, I'm not the only one. There's a second person with a Switch, but she has the same problem. Um, we have our Switch. We go to a place from one of our friends, and they obviously don't have a Switch dock, right? And you obviously don't really take your Switch dock with you, at least not if you have only a little backpack on your back. Um, yeah, so we always had the problems when we actually wanted to play Switch that we could only play on the display from the actual console, in my case the OLED, which is bigger, yes, it's still kinda small, so that would be nice. And yeah, we're coming to the next thing, the Joy-Cons. One thing still don't really know what to think of. But you see what I mean when I get to that point. Here they are. They get redesigned and bigger. They're a lot more round, I have to say. Ah, now I see what I didn't not actually notice next to SL and SR that there's two more buttons. Or like one more, I don't know. I did actually not notice that. But people were talking about that. Or maybe these aren't buttons. They don't really look like buttons that much to me. What those could be, first of all, buffers. So that when you, the next thing we're coming to, the for me really weird part that when you click it in, I'm just gonna say now, into the Switch that it doesn't, just flunk metal to metal or plastic to plastic. Sorry. So that you actually have like a little smooth rubber feet. But that would actually, rubber would actually interfere. There is this, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but there is this little hole from this side to the left of the connector. And as far as I know, that's something like another like an IR sensor, like a motion sensor, similar to um, the motion sensor in your computer mouse. And what I've read online, what I don't think this has been like officially stated yet, but what I've read online is that there might be a way, because you know how you can connect Joy-Cons to your PC, there might be a way to actually control your mouse with that motion sensor, that extra motion sensor. Anyway, further on, here's the blue side. God, I really hope this console. Oh, yeah, actually, both Joy-Cons have this hole. That might suggest that. Both Joy-Cons have that sensor. What I was gonna say, I hope this console also comes in white. Because to be honest, I think the white OLED just looks cooler. Anyway, yeah, the buttons. Oh, no, that's the new button people meant, I think. I've just found it. You can barely see it here. Is this a new button? Like on the inside of ZL and ZR? Is that the new button? I actually haven't seen it. Yeah, also this suggests it further, right? I'm just gonna say. And here's the thing about the new Switch, which since they leaked it, or this function, that I still don't know what to think of. I will need to have the console in my hands, but the Joy-Cons don't necessarily click anymore because you don't slide them in, which was the major thing about it's the whole Switches. It's the Switch's startup sound. It's the whole Switch's like I'm gonna say marketing sound, or how the Wii had its sound, the Wii U had its sound, the DS had its din stuff like that. The Game Boy had its own sound. So at the Switch, this little click when you slide the Joy-Cons in, and the locking mechanism comes in place. These are magnetic now. I mean, they're kind of getting held in place by the slots, where the little LEDs are for the player. There's still those data slash charging ports, yeah. But I fear there's no major click anymore. And I don't know if it actually has its own sound now, but yeah. I will have to have a Switch 2 in my hand to actually make a proper understanding of the new locking mechanism. So we see about that. We still have to wait a little bit until this console actually releases. I like that the inside is colored though. And that was Switch 2. That's the whole console review. Some nice renders. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, this button I meant. Or trigger. What the... Would be cool if this was like a kind of a trigger. I am intrigued to see what the developers are going to do with those inside buttons slash triggers of ZL and ZR. And here it is, Market 9. At least what it looked like to me early on from the trailer, or from the shots, Market 8.7. But I'm not gonna say too many. I'm not gonna go to that point because there is quite a few things that other people have already pointed out that I actually did not notice. For example, this is why I went back a little bit. Look at the starting grid. This is way more than 12. This is 24 grids. Up to 24 player Mario Kart. That's gonna be nuts. That's like actually gonna be cool. The other things, or the other things I have to say about this early on footage of this new Mario Kart game is also, first of all, what I just noticed, the edges of the screen. Is that just me, or are they as big as on the old Switch again? Because on my OLED, they're not this big. Are they? Hold on. No, on my OLED, they aren't that big. Like, my OLED screen fills out the frame way more. Well, yeah. Anyway, back to the Mario Kart point I was gonna say. This, art style and graphics-wise looks an awfully lot like Mario Kart 8, which is, I can understand it, obviously, because, I mean, it's still a Switch, even though it does have a big, hardware upgrade, did actually get a big hardware upgrade over the old model. It's still a handheld console with the main focus on a lot of playtime. Like, we do have some other now handheld like PC console-ish. Like, we have the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, which are kind of rivals to the Switch, but or was it? No. There was one from Lenovo too. I kind of forgot its name currently now, but yeah, major flaw with those things is obviously, yes, they have more power than the Switch. Yeah, they can run PC games. Even though not on the absolute best graphics, obviously, it's still a handheld, but they can run PC games and Windows and stuff like that. But their major flaw in design is that if you actually want to have a really, really good gaming experience, not just a mediocre one, you have to sacrifice in gaming time span, which, I mean, I don't actually know the numbers in my head, but just as an example, like the ROG Ally, which is pretty cool, I think. But if you like wanna actually have like max performance and all right looking graphics or nice looking graphics, right? You only have a game time on the internal battery for 1.5 to 2 hours. While the Switch, I don't think I have drained the battery in my Switch fast in general. Like, I do take it with me quite a lot, and yeah, no, I didn't. No, the only time I did drain the internal battery in my Switch was when I had it with me. When I was away from home for a week, I had it with me and I forgot to charge it for 2 days. Because but from my Switch, even from my OLED model, I still get like at least 4.5 to 5 hours out of it. That's what I mean. So I can kind of understand why the game looks almost exactly like the old game, not gameplay, art style wise. But it's still a little bit sad because it doesn't feel as refreshing as it did back then, and holy shit, I didn't know I was gonna use those words, but yeah, if you imagine that Mario Kart 8 is already 10 years old. Like, the jumps between the Mario Karts were always so cool because there were so many nice improvements. And this one, as I said, we haven't seen much about this. Maybe there's some other cool shit in it, other than the 24, suggested 24 player mode, I'm just gonna say. But from the first looks, it just doesn't feel as refreshing right now. There's also some other little things. Also, this looks a lot like a restyled Mario Kart Tour track, to be honest, like Route 66. I don't know. I haven't played Mario Kart Tour in a while. I don't know what tracks there are, but from the feeling, from the design choice, you know what I mean. Yeah, in general. Ooh, I just noticed. Hold on. Is that? Oops, sorry, 45 seconds. But yeah, that's a fucking. It's a snowmobile. What Rosalina is on. I only just noticed that. Yoshi's on a new on an outside drifting bike. Also is Peach. Um, there's Mario, and I'm just gonna say, if this is the new standard card design, I'm sorry, but I absolutely hate it. It looks so toyish and weird, and the other things that I see currently, they also look a lot like toys, yeah, but they look alright, like this like little rally car that Luigi has. Another thing, if you look at Peach, you can't really see it, I know. I don't know if I can actually bump this up. You can still just barely see it. If you look at Peach, she's on a bike, right? She's not rocking a bike suit. She's in a dress. Now, why, Nintendo? Why? But yeah, those are my nitpicks with this Mario Kart game. Here's the new dock, by the way, which rounded also. It looks nice. This more rounded design is obviously a little bit odd for us normal. So, I mean, the OLED dock is already a little tiny bit more rounded than the original dock. But yeah, this is a lot more rounded. Also, this massive logo from the Switch in the two. It's just so funny to me. But yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting thing. This new like controller base for the Joy-Cons, because you can see it here. It's flat right here, right? It has to be flat, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't get the magnets in. Uh, Maybe Nintendo already will change that a little bit, but hold on, can I get a good shot of that? Yeah, you can see it right here. It is flat, very flat, so the Joy-Cons can clip into that or slide into that. With the old one, they were way more rounded because you were able to slide the Joy-Cons in from the top, right? So we see how those will perform in your hands from like a holding feel. What it is like gaming on them for an extended while, because if there is like a harsh edge, which knowing Nintendo it won't be, but if that's a harsh edge that can really dig into your hand, into the palm of your hand. Uh, so as I said again, we see about that whole locking mechanism and all around it when we actually have a console in hand. Yeah. But yeah, it is 2025. And as we know, it is downwards compatible to all of the Nintendo Switch games we already had. I mean, if they didn't do that, that would have been an outrage. We know that. Um, but yeah, seeing as they're so extremely similar still, because it is in quotation just an upgrade, it just makes sense that you are able to play old Switch games. Yeah, certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Switch 2. Really? I wonder why. If there's some changes in like the sensors within the Joy-Cons. Like, for example, we have the like accelerometers slash gyro sensors, whatever they are, in there, or the we have that IR sensor on the bottom of the red Joy-Con, right? I actually did not really see that on the Switch 2. I might have just missed it. I didn't see it. Or maybe it's integrated into that sensor within the rail. I'm still gonna call it rail. Um, yeah, we'll see. That's just a thing. I mean, they didn't really announce much. They just said, "Hey, that's what it's gonna look like," even though everyone knew that already. But we're gonna know on the. Oh god, this is American. On the 2nd of April, we're gonna know more. Obviously, they could do it on the 1st because it would have been an April stroke, wouldn't have been. No. On the 2nd of April, we're gonna know more about the Nintendo Switch 2, which is a bummer that we have to wait quite a lot more. But I guess they still want to fine tune some things or maybe change some things. And yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, I'm. Yeah, what I'm gonna say. I'm feeling positive still. Series of hands-on events held around the world. That sounds good. Um, I will look into the Nintendo official website. I might cut that in here. Or after when I'm done talking. Oh my god, this video is already long, longer than I expected it to be. But yeah, I'm positive still. But a little bit skeptical. It just depends on how it feels IRL. And yeah, let's look if we can find any hands-on events, huh? I'm gonna be right back. And here I am on Nintendo's official website. Here you can watch the trailer again. You can see some other render shots. What are those top buttons? Oh no, that's a new locking mechanism. Okay, I get it. But there were some top buttons on the console, if I saw that correctly. Yeah, look, no IR sensor on, at least not here. So I guess stuff like Nintendo Labo, especially the piano, won't work. But yeah, look at that. No, that's the power button. Am I stupid? Didn't I? Doesn't matter. But yeah, here you can play Switch. Yeah, we just read that. Here's obviously gonna be Nintendo Direct. These are the hands-on experiences, at least in America, because I am on the US side, I guess. So, as you can see, New York, here's your times, or your days, LA and Dallas. Free Nintendo accounts required to register. Ah, interesting. Let's change region, because I obviously want to see how it is in my hometown. Yeah, hometown, in my home, yes, Germany is a town in my home country. I want to see where I have to go. Oh, it's only Berlin. Are you kidding me? Bro. Only heckin' Berlin. Um, maybe it's worth it. I see about that. Yeah, let's look at some other countries maybe too. Because I have a few viewers from different countries. Let's look at England, because I have a lot of English viewers in general. I don't know if they're all from the United Kingdom, but you will have your experience in London. Wait, even earlier than we have it in Germany. Nice. Not. Might go to London first. Sorry, London. London? London. London is the German way. And yeah, maybe take a look at France, because France is always a major. Here it is in Paris. Even earlier than Dame. That's mean. That's just mean. But yeah, that's it. The Switch 2, right? Nintendo Switch 2. what are your thoughts? Tell me down in the comments, and I will see you again in the next video. We still have a lot of normal Switch games to play. So yeah, hope to see you again in one of my next videos. Yeah, and until then, I hope you have a great day, and yeah, stay safe out there in the big wide world. Bye bye.